Hello. Take care.
Atlanta, Georgia is in the Eastern Time Zone.
Made it home. Hi. Hi, bud. Hi, bud. Yes. Hi, Mom. What's up, Zoe?
Still passed out, but he is zonked out from this trip. Even Rika's passed out. Sometimes I find it best to just let him sleep because I know how tiring those travel dates can be, where they just go away for just a couple of hours and then they're back on an airplane. So it's almost like they're spending more time in an airport than they are in the actual place that they're performing at. Yeah, it's kind of funny, like whenever Charles comes home and he does this whole kind of napping, I usually get him up before this, but I could tell how tired he was. Notice he's not as productive if I don't let him sleep just a little bit. Look who's awoken from the slumber. Why? What's wrong?
I'm so tired.
You can go back to sleep.
No, I'm wasting.
People understand.
I know, but I'm wasting the day. I feel wow. I couldn't get up. Like I have this tracker on my watch. It tells me how many hours I've slept in 2 days or a day. The day before it was around 2.5 hours, and yesterday before I fell asleep was literally, I'm not kidding, 3 hours. So 5 hours in 2 days. Not healthy, especially with the things that go on in my body. The number one thing is sleep and stress is number two. So sleep and stress are kind of one and the same, I guess. But I woke up and Allie told me that it is National Puppy Day. Apparently that's a thing. We'll get you stuff, okay? Because it's not like you don't have a million things. It's not National Kitty Day, I'm sorry. I already told you guys that I take CBD oil for my tumors and seizures and stuff like that. And I've done this before, but check this out. CBD oil for pets. So today what I want to do is get CBD oil for the dogs, and there's a place down the street, so I want to get it for myself as well. You know, it's all about health. All right, so there's some of the CBD oil. Notice that when we give it to Zoe, specifically Zoe, because her hips, that it really helps. I don't know if it helps with pain, but she seems to be able to get up and, what's the word, spry. She's a little more spunky. Let's just say the word spunky. So, I mean, rather than giving her like the other stuff like temozolomide or something like that, isn't that what it's called?
I'm not sure. I know what you're talking about.
It's some steroid painkiller, and I just, even with my body.
But it doesn't even, it's a temporary fix.
And like I said, I've been taking CBD oil for my stuff, and since I have, things in my body have been a lot better. Like seizures cut down, all that stuff, you know, everything, you know, good in my brain. So I'm an advocate 150,000%. It's coming from somebody who's been on, like, you know what I mean, like chemo and other really hardcore like painkillers and things like that. Those were like the most, ironically, painkillers are the most painful thing, I feel like, because when you come off of them, because your bones start aching, and when you're on it, you just feel blah. I hated it. So I was always looking for alternatives, things. And when I found the CBD oil, stuff like that, and now that it's all legal in Florida, actually CBD oil has been legal in Florida for years, and almost the entire country, I just immediately, hands down, decided to do that kind of stuff. So these are some of the oils that you can do if you guys are ever curious. All right, so gummies. Oh, they got honey. So this place is called Dr. Feelgood.
CBD Superstore.
There we go. And this is on 4th Street in St.
4th
Pete,
Street
right?
on 22nd, right next to J-Wag.
Yes. Okay, this is Johnny. So come here if you're on 4th Street in St. Pete. They have an array of awesome stuff, including delicious.
Now let me explain these. This is an isolated sprayed technique, so these are going to taste fantastic.
Okay.
Unlike something that's infused, which might be a little hempy.
So is this like Haribo gummies?
The cool thing about these is it's a 300 milligram package. One worm is 60 milligrams.
Okay. So probably like a third of that?
But you can do it because it's isolatedly sprayed, nano enhanced, so you can take half. But you can eat a gummy. It's going to be okay. It's only 60. And if you have questions like what's in it, QR code right on the back.
There we go.
You can just zoom it. You can see where the batch was made, and it's all right there. This is 1 gram, 99% pure, and it's made to. You can make soap with it. You
Really?
can use it to put in your pancake mix.
Oh yeah.
Right. Well, that's drinks. That's drinks. I got water. I got tea. But here's syrups. It comes in a 100 milligram or 250 milligram. It's already flavored. Some of it's raw, citrus, watermelon, blueberry. You can add it to Sprite. You can drink it by itself.
This place is awesome, and I'm so stoked. Like a lot of this is really good for anxiety. Yeah, this is cool though. This is really cool. Pure CBD then too, right?
Yes.
No THC.
No. Yeah.
See, that's the difference, guys. No THC. They just opened today, and we just got lucky while driving. I was, no joke, they said it was like I think 6. I was customer number 6 in their store.
You know, they just opened up. A lot of people in this neighborhood would, you know, they were concerned, you know, because they don't know what it is. So when they came in, they were curious about the product. So people would come in and they're like, well, let me talk to you about this. Let me tell you about CBD, what this is. This is, you know, what the benefits are of this. And, you know, a lot of people have a negative connotation of
They think
what
CBD
it
is associated with THC. I think a lot of people have that like association.
Like I said, a lot of people have been coming in and they're like, we've been sitting down talking with all of them, explaining everything, explaining like the health benefits and how it helps and what it can do for you and things of that sorts. And they said that everybody that's come in, learned about it and have left with a totally different idea on it, and are like, wow, I didn't know. I thought it was the other thing.
I don't necessarily think I have full-on anxiety, but like because of everything, I've actually talked about this in a video. I get very anxious, and I told you guys in that video, I did that whole like in-depth answered questions that I pretty much never answered. I take what's called Ativan, and I hate it, but so that's why I wanted to look into this stuff. I got hard candies, I got honey, some gummy bears, some oil that I put under my tongue, which is funny because this is exactly what I put for Ativan. You put it under your tongue.
You know, we used to be afraid to talk to you guys about this because, you know, people they don't understand.
It's a real struggle, kind of like going back and forth doing this stuff.
Absolutely, but I can tell you this. When was the last time Charles had a seizure? I mean, that's a big thing to think about.
Mic drop.
I mean, seriously though, like this sounds snotty. I'm making it about me right now. What a relief for me. Not having to wake up in the middle of the night terrified when my husband has a seizure. His appetite is different. His attitude is different. How he feels is different. I hope one day that it can be something that people are more aware of and people understand more and have a better idea of how much it can help an individual.
Remember back in the day when I was taking Vimpat, right? I was taking Vimpat and it was costing me, I'm not even kidding, you guys have been watching for a while, over $1,000 a month for a 30-day supply. I just bought all that stuff for under $200.
Which seems like a lot, but
that when you take 1,000 for 30 and something like that lasts way beyond like a month, honestly, I'd be an idiot not to. It's a real struggle because in modern medicine, everyone's like, you know, it's what it is because it's saved a lot of lives and saves lives. We're not pushing anything. The only thing that I like doing with these vlogs, not only do I like documenting, you know, my life and sharing it with you, but I also, if I can, a lot of the things I do in these videos, see, I'm immature right there. Some things that I do, is there supposed to be a comma there? It doesn't even matter. Some things that I do in these videos is very, I'll even admit, immature, stupid, but sometimes I feel very happy with myself when I'm able to actually kind of share some real opinions and maybe educate as much as I possibly can. I just wanted to show you and take you guys along.
And share experiences, or you shared your whole experience of you going through a brain tumor and cancer and things like that, and it was such a relatable thing for so many people.
And then going through Keppra reactions, and I don't know you guys, that rash that I got from Keppra, all pharmaceutical drugs. My experience of that went through, and like Allie was saying, like it's just the whole documentation of everything.
Yeah, and I think that what happens is like there are people that unfortunately are having those moments. When Charles first found out that he had, you know, a brain tumor, there's people that are experiencing that every day, and they might find Charles and then they'll see this like, hey, I've tried so many things, I've tried to find what works for me, I've tried to find something that helps me.
This is something I have to do on the daily, whether I like it or not. I know there's a lot of people out there that suffer from this crap hole of a thing. I don't wish on my worst enemy, and some people suffer from seizures. I don't know. The whole point of this rant is to kind of just, I was getting coffee, is just to educate and share my experience like I've been doing for the past 9 years. So we got the pizza and hip joints. Kind of tastes like pizza.
Don't eat it.
I'm not going to, but just want to try it? Gentle. Thank you. Crazy eyes. Have some pizza? You're so gentle, bro. You're going to eat my finger. I know you're going to. Gentle. That noise. So I have one of the coolest, actually most useful, especially for me, promotions that we've probably done in a long time. It's called Upsie, UPSIE. It's changing the game of like warranty services. So for example, in the past, go to a store, you buy a gadget, you know, your phone, a camera. You guys know that I am notorious for breaking these things. You go get a warranty, and I don't know if you guys have ever been approached by a salesman. You know, it's like, oh, you can get the 1 year, 2 years, 5-year plan. Some of these stores actually charge you 900% of what they actually should be charging you for these warranties, which, coming from somebody like myself, I feel like a complete idiot. First off, saves you about 70% off of the leading other warranty services, you know, like Apple, Samsung, Geek Squad, which is obviously the one that knows me by name now. So if or when, I don't even know why I say if, because it's when I break something or you break something, they do warranties for laptops, smartwatches, computers, televisions. So let's just say, you know, you went and bought a brand new smartphone and you didn't really want to pay the extreme warranties, maybe the Samsung Galaxy S9, it's iPhones. You actually can cover your phone for, I think it's $79.99 for 2 years for your phone. They give you up to 45 days to actually protect your smartphones or other devices. In short, stop overpaying, guys. I'm just gonna let you guys know. I'm probably the biggest advocate candidate for warranties. I've said it a million times. Also, here's the kicker. If you go to upsie.com/CTXC, I'll put a link in the description. For your first one, you get 10% off. This is something that I made them do because I thought if you break cameras like myself, this would actually be very useful for you guys. Check it out. I'm definitely switching all my warranties to my devices, especially my cameras. So yeah, hope that was useful for you guys. I'm gonna go play some pinball on my pinball machine.
You just wanted to say it.
I stole everything from you.
Karma.
It's all blurry. It's so I want to focus on you.
I'm walking down the street just like I own it. I'm rolling to the beat just like I wrote it. Watching the sun go down is disappearing. Cause in this part of town it's pretty clear that I can feel the city breathe. The boulevard is hot like me. Thank God it's only Friday night. You bring my Saturdays to life. Come Sunday, will you be my wife? You make me go from Puerto Rico. Come on Monday, don't be such a. I hear a lovely sound, it's all around me. I see the sky above me, it's so lovely. One girl, a half a dozen cities buzzing. A scented summer breeze comes over me, and I can hear the sing.
So it's very apparent that we are all golfing professionals.
Thank God it's only Friday night. You bring my Saturdays to life. Come Sunday, will you be my wife? You make me go from Puerto. Come on Monday, don't be such a. 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 Thank God it's only Friday night.
Well,
Knee, you heel.
who won?
Not me.
I did.
Melissa won at one point, didn't
Actually,
you?
our friend Norm over here did.
Turd Ferguson, I think, won every one of them.
Ted Ferguson won.
Turd. He's
By a
big
long run. It was
turd. Mr. Hanky Turd.
Yep. Mr. Hanky.
I cannot fall asleep right now because the whole sleeping all afternoon. Look, right now it is 4:12 in the morning. Cat, You're still up? Before I get distracted, like I said, it's kind of late. My brain's wandering. I was really nervous about talking about today. I mean, the whole thing that I go through right now, and unfortunately some of you guys, I don't want to say a lot, hopefully it's not a lot, go through these things. For me, it's a struggle. It's a really tough struggle to be able to balance stuff like that. I hated the way I came across when I was editing. I don't want to say modern medicine is bad, because obviously without modern medicine I probably wouldn't be here at the surgeries and stuff like that, because I've read how they did surgeries back in the day, and nope. However, I feel like some things have lost their way and money has kind of got into it. Anyway, I don't want to get all preachy, so I hope I didn't offend anyone, and I hope that maybe my experience in sharing that might help somebody. It's tough for me to kind of admit to, but I've gone through a lot of crap as far like medically and stuff. The medication not working, the chemo, to procedures, to surgeries, checkups, to all that stuff. I've kind of, unfortunately, have some sort of expertise on the situation. At the end of the day, I just hope that these videos are a means to not only entertain, but maybe get some sort of education out there, or just maybe spark a light bulb, I guess, if that makes any sense. I know I'm not making sense now because it's getting later and later as I keep looking at the clock. I hope you guys enjoyed today's video, and have a great night. Bye. I don't know why I seem so confused. Good night.